When the Samsung Galaxy S10e came to our office, I unboxed it and I held it in my hand. My first reaction was, oh my god, what a chintu mintu, rollu pollu, gollu mollu little phone is this? Now obviously the first thing I wanted to do was actually pull its cheeks and say, "Aw, doesn't have cheeks," but you get my sentiment. And just like the phone, I'm going to keep this review short and compact primarily because whatever I've said about the S10 Plus in my review, a cut to which should be here somewhere, holds true for the Samsung Galaxy S10e as well. For example, stuff like the camera, the software, the performance, all of that is almost identical. Having said that, there are two big questions that needs to be answered. Is the Samsung Galaxy S10e better than the OnePlus 6T? And secondly, are the trade-offs worth considering the Samsung Galaxy S10e over the more expensive S10 or S10 Plus? Well, I'm Ershad from Mr. Phone, and that's what I'm gonna find out in my review of the Samsung Galaxy S10e. Cutie pie. But before we move on, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button and the bell icon right next to it because you'll get notified whenever Mr. Phone puts out an awesome new tech video. The Samsung Galaxy S10e is undoubtedly compact and handy. Coming from an S10 Plus, the S10e feels diminutive in comparison. But I can tell you this, by reducing the size and shrinking the bezels, Samsung has created the perfectly sized smartphone. It is only ever so slightly bigger than the Nexus 5, which has a 5-inch display by the way. The S10e has a 5.8-inch display in comparison. I'm bringing the Nexus 5 into the equation when I'm talking about the design of the S10e because when I tweeted about the S10e, my friend and photographer Vinay Arvind had to say this about the phone. You know what? I couldn't have said it any better. It captures my emotions perfectly. Now with this form factor, one-handed usage becomes better, and the chances of it slipping out of your hands are slim because your palms will contour around the physical dimensions of the phone with consummate ease. At 150 grams, it is also fairly lightweight with a great weight distribution. Overall, the S10e is the perfectly sized phone. The design differences when compared to the Galaxy S10, S10 Plus includes a flat display on the front of the S10e. I prefer flat displays to curved ones because it eliminates ghost touches. But the dynamic AMOLED 19:9 panel has a lower FHD plus resolution. Although I'm not really complaining because it is still crisp, bright, and includes support for HDR10+. For all practical purposes, a pixel density of 438 ppi is more than enough for human eyes. Moreover, Samsung has dropped the ultrasonic in-display fingerprint scanner for a side-mounted one on the power button. Trust me, physical scanners have gotten so good over the years that it only makes in-display scanners right now look really bad. To add to that, the side-mounted scanner on the S10e is one of the fastest ones you will ever use. Additionally, it is super fun to just pull down the notifications panel by swiping down from the side. Another tiny design compromise is that you get Corning's Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and back, whereas you get Corning Gorilla Glass 6 on the S10 Plus. What does this mean for the end user? Not much. Just that the S10 Plus will be better at resisting drops. But as far as weatherproofing goes, the S10e has the same IP68 certification as the S10 Plus. There are a couple of design decisions that irk me though, but at best they are very minor niggles. Firstly, the chin is bigger than the top bezel. And secondly, the USB Type-C and 3.5mm ports are not aligned with the speakers at the bottom, just like the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. Overall though, the Samsung Galaxy S10e is the compact phone that 2019 needed very badly. And to add to the differentiation, Samsung has also swapped out the transparent case from the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus for this one, which actually trips my trypophobia every single time I put it on. As for the cameras, the S10e goes for a dual camera setup on the rear instead of a triple camera setup on the S10/S10 Plus combo. So what do you lose out on the S10e? The telephoto camera. And honestly, it doesn't really matter because the S10 Plus's 12 megapixel telephoto camera is average at best. That said, the 16MP wide angle camera is present on the S10e, and that is a game changer in my opinion. I think Samsung really thought the camera setup through on the Samsung Galaxy S10e. As far as the photo quality is concerned, you can just head over to my review of the S10 Plus for a detailed analysis. Here are a few salient points though. One, the default camera app is laid out beautifully and very easy to maneuver. Secondly, shots in daylight are crisp and detailed with a slight hint of over-sharpening and boosted colors. The bigger problem is, however, the phone tends to overexpose scenes unnecessarily. Don't forget to reduce the exposure in bright scenes. Third, the wide-angle camera is excellent. I absolutely love the added perspective you get in landscape shots. Fourth, Portrait effects are okay at best. I doubt I'd ever use it. Fifth, the low light performance is nowhere close to the Pixel 3 or the Mate 20 Pro, and I can only imagine the P30 Pro to improve it by leaps and bounds. The S10e can also shoot HDR10 plus video out of the box. The video recording quality, the stabilization and the sound quality are all excellent and probably the best on any smartphone. Now do let me know in the comment section below if you want the cameras on the S10e compared against any other phone. Having said that, we have a camera comparison of the S10 Plus against the iPhone XS Max, the Pixel 3 XL and the Mate 20 Pro, which should give you a fair idea of the camera performance of the S10e just without telephoto, which doesn't make much of a difference anyway. Now coming to the performance, the S10e has the same Exynos 9820 system on chip like its siblings. Therefore, there is not much of a difference in performance and benchmark scores. But one thing I noticed while testing PUBG using Gamebench is that the GPU struggled to keep consistent frame rates and the phone touched 40 degrees. The phone did feel warm to the touch after a 1 hour session of PUBG. The one area where there is a perceptible compromise is in the battery life of the S10e. The 3100 mAh battery lasted me a max of 10 hours on a single charge, which included a screen on time of 4 hours. You can stretch it a little by switching off edge lighting or ambient display. And using the bundled 15-watt charger, I could charge the phone from 0 to 100 in under 1 hour and 30 minutes, which is incredible. So the battery life is not great, but the battery charging speeds are fast. So if you drain it faster, you can also charge it faster. While testing the Samsung Galaxy S10e, I faced a lot of call drops and network issues for some odd reason, which happened on the S10 Plus as well. I really don't know why that is happening. Having said that, when the call was connected, the sound through the earpiece on both the phones was actually excellent, so I have no complaints there. We're at the end of this review, and I can say this with a fair amount of confidence that the S10e is the best compact flagship you can buy today. I mean, of course, there are not too many options in the market anyway. But one of the things that has to be noted about the S10e is that it is also not very exorbitantly priced. I say that because the OnePlus 6T McLaren edition touched 50k as well, and the Samsung Galaxy S10e is available for around 55,000. So continuing that line of thoughts, let's compare the S10e against its immediate competitors. I know the OnePlus 6T is much cheaper than the S10e, but a lot of folks will look at this comparison. As far as the design is concerned, the S10e is definitely more ergonomic and refined. Moreover, I prefer the in-display camera compared to the water drop notch. The AMOLED panel is better looking on the S10e compared to the OnePlus 6T. The cameras are better too. You also get wireless charging plus reverse wireless charging. And of course, a more powerful processor in the form of the Exynos 9820. You get the drift. The price difference is totally worth it. The Galaxy S10e is better than the OnePlus 6T in more ways than one. But yeah, Oxygen OS and the performance and the fluidity of Oxygen OS on the OnePlus 6T is incredible and unmatched even today. So yeah, I see a reason why somebody would pick the OnePlus 6T over the S10e, apart from, of course, the lower cost. Ever since the S10e launched, many comparisons were made to Apple's iPhone XR. Both the phones come in funky colors, are smaller and affordable when compared to the more expensive variants. The S10e is evidently more compact, more cost effective, and has all the goodness of Android. But the battery life is definitely better on the XR, and so is the performance. That said, the S10e has a better display. Honestly, this is a tough comparison because we're talking about picking between iOS and Android, and most of the times it's not an apples to apples comparison. No pun intended. Keeping all that technical analysis aside, I still think that the Samsung Galaxy S10e is a cute little smartphone and it has really won my heart. In fact, I would go as far as to say that I like the S10e over the S10 Plus. So what do you guys think of the S10e? Are you gonna buy one? Do let us know in the comment section below. Until next time, this is Ershad from Mr. Phone signing off. Goodbye.
Click the link below to download the Oddbots Turbo Run game now.